Yeah, I thought we got out of it what we wanted to. I thought it was a good game. We allowed us to focus on practice that week and have a focused practice week versus having an off weekend. Appreciative that Grand Valley came up and played. I thought they really started out well. I thought as the game went on, they wore out a bit, which is to be expected. But I liked how our guys played. I didn't like how we started. I thought we were a little sloppy and a little slow, but I thought as the game went on, we played faster and we got sharper, so it gave us a chance to expand our lineup, get some different guys in some different roles. So all in all, it was great. Good crowd, good enthusiasm in the building, and something we're going to look to possibly do again down the road.
You guys have Northern coming up this weekend. What do you guys need to see in order to see 2 wins against them this weekend?
Yeah, good team. They've like the last 5 years, it seems like they're near the top of the league in goal scoring, and this year it appears like they're picking up where they left off. They put up some pretty big numbers against very good. They've been on the road for 4 straight games. They played 2 at Duluth, 2 at Arizona State. While I think they're 0-3-1. So obviously they're giving up a few goals too, but the reality is they're putting up numbers, and we're aware of that. They're a very aggressive team. It's much easier as a coach to start reeling it in and coach defense than it is to try to find a way to score goals, and they've got goal scoring. So I think it should be a really good series. I like the way we've stayed out of the box. We'd like to continue to do that. I think I looked, and we're maybe in the certainly in the top 15 in least penalized teams in penalty minutes per game. I'd like to see that continue. I think it's going to have to continue for us to be good, because right now our PK, while it's been good, is not where we want it to be yet. And so with the PK still a work in progress, the more we can stay out of the box, the better.
And Coach, with the various changes and little experimentation you did in that Grand Valley State game, was that like a number of those things were geared towards to maybe trying to check things out and getting ready for this 2-game set against Northern up there?
That's a great question, because after the game, I did think there was a couple things we could have instituted that game that may have helped us this coming weekend, and I didn't. We didn't do a lot of prep on Northern prior, to Monday. After the Grand Valley game, and there was a couple things there I thought, but we were able to put in some offensive zone face-off plays that we hadn't put into our playbook yet. We put them in for the Grand Valley game, so that gave us a chance on a few things to add some things to our playbook and kind of experiment with it and see if it would work well. So anyways, yeah, in terms of a lot that we did against Grand Valley that would help us with Northern, there really was not a lot out there.
And can you just also maybe talk a little about Northern? Obviously, you faced them past couple of years, and last year was a struggle, and you did compliment them offensively. But they're off to a little slow start here, and they were scored upon those first 4 games. They played against Minnesota, Duluth, and ASU.
Yeah, they obviously they scored a lot of goals, but they gave a lot up too. But you got to remember they were on the road against 2 really good teams. I think Duluth's got one of the better teams in the country this year. In some ways, Northern similar to us in that I thought while we're scoring goals, we gave up quite a few goals, so far against Miami and against Western Michigan, particularly at Western on the Friday night. So I think we've got our own work to do in terms of straightening out our defensive play. But like I said earlier, I think it's easier now to work on defense. You can always coach defense, and we can do that. That's a matter of guys having the heart in the right place. But it's very difficult at times to find ways to score goals. And so I'm happy right now with where our team sits and the fact that we are scoring goals. Now that can dry up, but I don't think so. I think we've got, between all the different people like Schleppe, I think Luigi's going to be a point getter. That you can't forget the one line with Picorni and Branchow and Venuto. So I think we've got the ability to score goals. Now it's a matter of the coaching staff making sure that we mind our P's and Q's defensively, and we're going to need to this weekend because Northern Michigan can score goals.
So you guys are heading up north kind of long drive for the game, and it's Northern Michigan's first game at home. They're hungry for a win. I mean, how tough is that going into that environment, especially after kind of that long drive up there?
Yeah, no, you're right. You know what though, for us, the distance isn't. I know that I don't mean to come off as crass, but the distance isn't that bad for us. Only because like they're one of our closest opponents in our conference. Our conference is so spread out, so we almost look at this as a short trip. And we go up on Thursday the day before, so it's not going to be a problem. But because it is their home opener and it's the start of our conference play, it's going to be a tough environment. And it's, Grant Patolni's done an outstanding job building that program. Each and every year they seem to get better and better. And we can attest the last few years we've struggled in that building. It seems like we've got blown out on the Friday night, and then Saturday we've clawed back maybe to tie or get 2 points, but we've really struggled that, particularly on the Friday, the first night of the weekend series. So, we want to make sure we start the weekend on time. We don't forget and show up on Saturday. That we get there to play on Friday.
It was a fun game for us, and I think for them too. It's good to grow the game all over. We had a bit of a slow start, but we were kind of adjusting, and the last 2 periods there we really started to click. So I think we played well, and like I said, it's good to grow the game. So we're happy we did it.
You guys basically dominated that game offensively as a forward. What do you guys need to do to carry that domination offensively against Northern?
Just not get away from our game. Like we got a game plan that we like to stick to, and it's playing hard, it's playing fast, getting pucks towards the net, putting it at the goalie's feet and crashing the net, and we got the players that can make plays too. So once we all click that all together, we're a pretty dangerous team offensively.
And just as you talked about, right, the slow start, and also unfortunately in your other loss, and also even in one, you guys had a couple of slow starts. So what do you think you guys are going to need to do to make to get at them first and try not to play from behind and get that lead immediately? And I'm sure that's going to be very important going up against this group who have battled you over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think this early in the season, I think starts are something that's always going to be a little interesting for us. But as the season goes on, I think we'll start to click. But as of right now, I think we just have to simplify to start and be really simple so we don't make any mistakes that could end up in the back of our net.
So you guys have the road trip up to the UP, and then you're taking on a team it's their home opener, and they haven't won a game yet. So, I mean, how tough is that going into an environment where they've already played 4 games and haven't been able to get a win?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for us for sure, but we embrace that stuff. We want to play these games. We want to beat in these games and win them. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure. They're a great team. They play really well in their rink, and we just got to be ready to go and not take them lightly and just play a super hard game.
I think overall we kind of came to our game there second half of the game, but I think for Grand Valley it's a great opportunity for them to play a Division I team. Obviously it's going to grow the game, and we've seen UNLV and other schools start doing that kind of stuff. So hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years you're seeing more and more Division I schools. I think that's the most important part of that game.
And you got Northern this weekend. They're known for putting up some big numbers. What do you guys need to do defensively to keep the numbers down for the goals that they're getting?
Obviously, you want to contain them, but you also don't want to give them any opportunities they don't really deserve. Part of that's in the transition game. They're really good off the rush, so if we're sloppy in the neutral zone or in our own zone, they'll make you pay. But I think a big key for us is going to be us dictating the game and pushing the pace. And if we can do that and establish a good forecheck, I think we'll be in a good spot.
And going up against Northern, are you? They played the first 4 games. They played against Minnesota, Duluth, and also ASU, 2 of the great teams in the country. Is that a little bit of concern that they're already battle tested, even though they're 0-3-1, and you're going up against a team that's itching to win their first game?
I don't know. I mean, we've played some good teams too. I mean, obviously we played 2 good NCHC teams that come from a good conference, and I think at the end of the day, everyone's trying to win every game, and I think week in and week out, especially when you're coming into conference play, these are 2 huge games for us. And obviously you don't want to start the year in conference play 0-2 or 1-1. You want to get that 2-0 start. So I think there's going to be both sides. It's going to really be a dogfight to who wants it.
First game in the league, I guess I should say, and then you guys are going there and it's their home opener. I mean, how tough is that to play in kind of that environment where they're looking for their first win and it's their home opener?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of energy for sure, but I think at the end of the day, you want to play for the guys inside the glass, and I think, at this point, we've all played in big games, whether it's growing up in juniors or here in college with guys with the experience, but you learn how to tune that stuff out. You want to take in the stuff that's positive, you want to block out that negative stuff and kind of use it to your advantage. And I think, obviously we played at Western Michigan. That's a really hard environment to play, so I think we have that experience of playing with a lot of high energy hockey and fans, so I think we'll be prepared for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Yep.